And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be worldwide. It's Stephen Sherman with Emotional Soul Healing, and I welcome you here to another guided healing meditation. And for today's meditation, dealing with self-confidence. So, if this interests you, I welcome you to join along here. And as always, if you're driving, please pull over or do not listen to the day-to-day meditation. And if you're under the influence or operating heavy machinery, do not listen to this. So find yourself here into a comfortable position and uncrossing your hands, uncrossing your feet, closing your eyes, and taking in 3 deep breaths. And I'd like you to imagine in your mind's eye, visualizing having a large silver plate. And on the silver plate, I'd like you to empty out whatever's occupying your mind. If there's any worries, if there's anything that's occupying your mind, whether it's finances, or it's always thinking about the bills, or if it's the stress, or this or that, or if it's something else that's really occupying one's mind, and give yourself a few moments here and empty out as much as you can here, please. Whatever the stress, whatever the worries, anything that's coming from today, from the past week or the past month, and anything that's no longer serving you, be kind with yourself, please, and just simply place it onto the plate. And when you're ready, watching the silver plate rising higher and higher into the vastness of the universe until you no longer see it. Imagine yourself here walking through your garden, sensing and feeling the sun's warmth in your skin, smelling the fragrance, whether it's by the forest, by the ocean there, the fragrance of the flowers and trees, or depending on the season. As you continue walking through your garden, at the edge of it, walking up the set of stairs up to the door, guarding your own private island. In the doorway, there's a key. Taking this key and unlocking this door, stepping into your island, closing the door behind you, locking it, and keeping the key with you. This is your home away from home, with this being your private sanctuary, and no one is allowed here without your expressed consent or permission. I'd like you to invoke and invite here onto your island your younger inner child, ideally between the ages of 5 to 9, or any other age that decides to show up for today. And as you gaze deep into the eyes of this inner child, what do you see behind those eyes? Is there a sense of joy there? A sense of wonder? Or perhaps behind those eyes, there's loss of confidence. Or maybe there's jealousy or enviness. Or deep down inside, feeling crushed on the inside. Perhaps having no power, or feeling completely over-controlled for so many years. I'd like you to give this inner child here both a hug and a kiss, and thanking this inner child for assisting you throughout this meditation. I'd like you to invoke and invite here from the light your master guide and guides, and thanking these guides for being here. And whether you see them or not, it doesn't matter. Simply acknowledging them and thanking your guides for being here. Your guides are going to flash in your mind's eye there on a large screen, on a large TV there. Any of the older experiences, any of the older movies that are still running within the subconscious. And later on, we're going to clear them all out. And the intention here is whatever needs to show up will show up, and be able to see, which is great, And if not, just remain in your silence here and enjoy your movies. And I'll be back with you here in a couple moments. For whatever flashed in front of your mind's eye, with whatever you're able to see, whatever you're able to visualize, feel, sense, I'd like for you to give yourself the permission that for whatever happened, known or unknown to you, I'm going to be asking your guides here from the light, your healer guides, to assist you with having all these files and all these feelings, known or unknown to you, perceived or experienced, anything and everything back from the initial trigger, the initial boiler point, everything coming in from the inner child, stemming in from mom and dad, within the family, the culture, and the religion. You're going to ask you guys to assist you with having all the files and all the feelings taken out. If there was a loss of self-confidence, if it was dealing with the ego, the pride, or stubbornness, if there was a feeling of a loss of control or having no control, or the stubbornness on a brutal level, on another level, not like being told what to do, or with having as little supervision as possible, or with whatever you're going to be doing in life, being on your own to the best of your ability, and when in essence here, being in one's own leadership with this. And if this is not the case here, you're going to ask you guys to assist you with having all these files and all these feelings collectively and energetically from your family, the culture, the religion, and from the collective environment, and all the associated masks of this placed into the field energetically from your past, present, and future self, placing all these files and all these feelings into the field with peace, compassion, universal love, and grace. Taking in a deep breath, please. Holding it. And with a purifying exhale, breathing it all out. From my own experience, and this is something I found out in the last couple of years, there was two major fears out there. And for me personally, they link into self-confidence. And however it's merged together with this, it's either with having a near-death experience as the number one fear, or I'm saying this for me here as a self-confidence thing, and the second one was public speaking. Now, is it more of a fear? Yes. Is it also affected with the self-confidence? For me personally, big time. Really big with this. So, what I've come to the conclusion here, and it's not just me speaking of it, there's many others speaking of it. We are spiritual beings living a temporary human physical experience. So the notion of leaving here as a spiritual being to the other side, I've already seen it. I have an awareness of what it is. For me, it was the fear or the lack of self-confidence with getting out there and expressing and talking and getting the message out there that each and every one of us, we all hold the key to something much bigger here. And despite with everything else that's going on there, the self-confidence is not really stemming from having the top marks or being the smartest person in the class. Self-confidence is coming from deep within. It's something within the core system that it's something that's owned. And it's back in with the core belief system that I got this. This is me. I own this. And no one can take this away from me. And from my own experience, it took me many years with fostering this and learning with this, and eventually cleaning everything up from the inside and leveling up. So for that, I'm very elated with, and equally sharing this here on the meditation, that for any of the files and for any of the feelings, I'd say from a younger age, if on the inside, if there was a loss of confidence, because when we come here, technically from the universe, we're coming here in pristine condition. And when we're coming here with pristine condition, it means we're coming straight from, in another form of it, we're coming from the factory in the pure essence of it. Most of the cases, in 90-95% of the scenarios, unless there's another soul lesson involved. So the moment when there's interference coming either from the family, the culture, or the religion, or it can be someone that's very close to a person, that the moment when it hits them on the inside, and it can be just something as simple as one word. However, that word gets perverted with a strong feeling. And when that one word gets perverted or twisted with the wrong feeling, that feeling gets locked on the inside, subconsciously. And anything after 21 days, it gets lodged in as a program. So we're going to set the intention here. I'm going to ask you guides here from lights later on to remove and clear all this out. So for any of the files and for any of the feelings, if it's coming in from a lack of confidence, perhaps having a tough time expressing one's own truth, if it's a tough time standing on one's own 2 feet, if it was a tough time for many years, if they're not able to stand on their own 2 feet being pushed around by others and having no clear set of boundaries or clear set of limits, or I'd say as another pristine, or in another case or another scenario, voicing up or expressing what they feel on the inside and then feeling cut off by somebody else. And then deep down inside, bottling up and down, wondering, well, why are they speaking? Why am I not speaking? And on the inside, where's that energy sitting at? And if any of that energy, if we keep holding on to it, at some point, it's going to express itself into the body, or expressing itself into a situation that one may not wish to experience. So the self-confidence is something that deep down inside, being so good at it, owning it, and radiating with it. You don't have to say anything about it. You just walk in the room and you own this. It's something that's owned. And no one can take it away from you. That includes either from the family, the bank. The bank can't do nothing with it. The financial system, the schooling system. And it's a level of ownership. It's a level of personal responsibility. And it really is a gift on the inside. And I would encourage everyone, including myself here, continuing to foster that growth on the inside. So for any of the files and for any of the feelings, say at a younger age, if one felt crushed, if one felt growing up without having a voice, or if one always felt domineered by somebody else, or completely suppressed by somebody else's either opinion, belief, or looking up to somebody else that deep down on the inside, questioning yourself, why am I doing this and why is the other person not doing it? And then perhaps even on a rougher stage, if the one person that's not owning it themselves, if they're taking it out on you, and they're taking out all their frustration, all their own issues out on you. And you're there just as a decent human being, just living your life. And that one there is there with being confident, being radiant, taking fast and immediate action. And it's usually being as an entrepreneur, usually being as a business owner, taking fast and immediate action. They love being in their power. They like taking charge. They're like the alpha male. And whatever that mask was deep down inside, whatever it was with covering that issue up, whether it was, again, fear of speaking, not being able to assert one's power. If the leadership or the role models, perhaps, and there's no judgment or there's no blame with this, perhaps the role model from a younger age was not the ideal role model, or placing too much trust, too much value in with this person, and having the understanding that many, many years later that, wow, I was looking up to the wrong person here. So if that's the case there, I may suggest whoever this person is, if they're up on a high pedestal, lower them down and put yourself on your own pedestal and raise yourself up. This is the biggest thing that I've ever learned here. There's a few things. So for any of the files and for any of the feelings, if you felt, say, undervalued, if you felt stuck, if you felt really stuck, if you wound up feeling crushed, if you felt being stuck in a pattern, being stuck in a career, or deep down inside having the understanding or the awareness of, why am I stuck with this family and not the nicer family down the street, where it's comfortable, where it's easy? Because that one there, it can bring up a lot of stubbornness. And that stubbornness, especially if it's within the family and if there's other members there or somebody outside of the family, or it can be a teacher growing up or somebody in the school ground, whoever this person is, if they rub you off the wrong way with this, there's that instant friction. And that instant friction, there's a soul agreement there. And that friction is there to teach someone with standing on their own 2 feet, asserting their own boundaries, and being able to lead on their own. And more importantly, without feeling stuck being in the back seat. It's one thing to go through an experience, say from a younger age, and being stuck. It's quite another having that experience dragged on, say for another 15, 20, or 25 years. Or 30 years, or depending on the scenario, 30, 40, or 50, or even longer years. So with this type of a meditation here, you're going to be asking you guys to assist you with having all the files and all the feelings, known or unknown to you, back from a lack of confidence. If it's the fear of standing in your own power, that feeling deep on the inside, it could have been as simple as one word that came up to you in your mind's eye, or that feeling that you get there on the inside. Ask you guys from light to flash that idea, that feeling, that energy there. And you're going to ask you guys to assist you with having all these files and all these feelings associated with it that affected one's leadership or affected one's self-confidence. You're going to ask you guides here from the light to assist you with having all these files and all these feelings, known or unknown to you, perceived or experienced, back from the initial trigger, the initial boiler point, and all of the collective masks worn throughout all the years with this. I'm going to ask you guys to assist you with having all these files and all these feelings back from the family, the inner child, the culture, and the religion, and the collective environment, collectively and energetically, from your past, present, and future self. You're going to place all these files and all these feelings into the field with peace, compassion, universal love and grace. Taking in a deep breath, please. Holding it. And with a purifying exhale, breathing it all out. For any of the files and for any of the feelings associated with the feeling of self-confidence and the lack of it, what's assisted me in the most amazing way was the ability of taking as many risks as possible. And I'm saying them, I'm using me as the reference here. You got to do whatever you feel comfortable with. The moment I was willing to take a risk on me, the moment I was willing, and the willingness with being in the change, getting out of my comfort zone, stepping in and doing something completely brand new. As tough as that experience may have been in the past, where whatever that goal, whatever that dream was, it was not to say as a loss or as a failure. Take it as a sense of learning with it. Learning, growth, substance, the essence of it. It's the character of who you're becoming or who you're being. And if you're able to take these nuggets or these setbacks from whatever happened, at any time literally in your life, you can literally turn things around for yourself. I state this self-confidence, it's the ability to sit in the front seat. It's the ability with taking charge. It's the ability of taking ownership. Everyone likes being in the party room when the celebration is going. That leadership, what about, let's say, after attending an event or a seminar and feeling all charged up, or having this business idea or this brilliant idea, and long after the enthusiasm is passed on or it's faded, how strong is one's perseverance or determination? How strong is one's willpower to keep moving or keep persevering? From that leadership, is one able to keep persevering when there's others around that are either going to feel jealous, they're going to feel envious, or as one starts climbing out of their own mess and they start climbing out of it, others are saying, hey, it's time to come back down here with the rest of us. And it's pivotal moments like that. Are you willing to settle, or are you willing to step into that leadership in a positive way and keep moving up and being the change? Because the moment we start shining our own light or being in our own power with this and taking ownership and being responsible for our own life, it starts showing the other insecurities in others or within ourselves. I'll state it for myself here. It showed many things inside of me that, A, it was time for me to grow up. It was time for me to move on. It was some things that I was able to really enjoy, and I said, okay, this is great. However, we're coming here like either as a flower, either we're growing or we're dying. So if any of this is resonating here, I'd like you to ask you guys again to flash in front of your mind's eye if there's any visions, any feelings, any sensations, whether it's warmth, a sense of warmth, or a coldness, and just simply acknowledging it. And you're going to ask your guides here from light to assist you with having all these files and all these feelings known or unknown to you. Whatever's feeling on the inside here, everything back in from the initial trigger, the initial boiler point, perceived or experienced, and from all the collective masks worn throughout all the years, everything stemming back in from that inner child experience, everything coming back in from mom and dad, from the culture, from the religion, from the collective environment of it. You're going to ask you guys to assist with having all these collective files and feelings energetically from your past, present, and future self, energetically placed into the field with peace, compassion, universal love, and grace. Taking in a deep breath, please. Holding it. And with a purifying exhale, breathing it all out. For any of the files and for any of the feelings coming in with that one vibration. Coming in with that one vibration, so it's the number 1. And equally, this is for those that are also born in January, that are born on the 1st, they're born on the 10th, they're born on the 11th, they're born in November. Now the November and the 10th, they are both master numbers. The 11 is the demanding number of it, and the 10 is a softer energy of it. So these type of vibrations, they are related to this vibration. If you have this type of an energy there, and especially because if you have this type of an energy, this is where the energy can go up way higher, 100% way higher than everybody else, or going down 100% deeper than everybody else. And if one gets stuck down in those lower energies, those lower frequencies, this is where it gets really, really tough. This is where it gets real. This is where the honesty of it is. This is where the sauce of it is. This is where the juice of it is. This is where the minutia of it is. This is the meat of it. If the stuff down on the bottom is not properly dealt with or anchored out or taken all those little anchors or triggers out, for whatever a person's doing, to the best of their ability, and again, there's no judgment, there's no blame with this, at some point, they're going to wind up hitting a wall. And that wall there is because there's something deep down on the inside, whatever it is that whatever happened at a very young age. And if it's affecting one with their leadership, and if they're not able to really assert their power, standing on their own 2 feet, taking charge, if a person's feeling explosive, if a person's feeling vulnerable, if a person covers it up wearing a lot of masks, if it's with holding on to a title as a supervisor or manager, or whatever the position is, whether it's a doctor, lawyer, commercial pilot, an officer, or as a business owner, what's that feeling deep down on the inside that whatever that mask is, to the best of their ability, sitting in the front seat, is there a twitch on the inside? Is there a feeling of agitation or hesitancy? Is there a feeling of urgency on the inside that, hey, I can't sit in the back seat anymore? It's the most relevant, most important without taking charge, being in the front seat. If the decision is not made now, at some point, being in the 5D here, it will come around full circle with this. What's the feeling that's felt deep on the inside? Because technically, when we're coming here from the universe, we're coming here in pristine condition. So you're going to ask you guides here to assist you with having all these bottom files and bottom feelings, known or unknown to you. And these can include feelings coming back from the pride, the ego, stubbornness, feeling blocked, loss of control, being overly controlled. Any of the files and feelings, either having a tough time expressing, not saying anything, either being chauvinistic, being rude or arrogance or defiant. You're going to ask you guys to assist with having all the vibrations with the 1 energy, with the 1 frequency and the 11 frequency, including the 10 frequency. And we'll add to that, it's the fear of the unknown, the fear of one's own gifts, the fear of stepping into one's own power with this. If there is an abuse of sitting in the front seat, if there is an abuse of being in one's leadership, if there was an abuse of not taking charge of anything, or being in charge of something and abusing that power. You're going to ask your guides here from light to assist you with having all these files and all these feelings, known or unknown to you, perceived or experienced, everything back in from that initial trigger, the initial boiler point, perceived or experienced, known or unknown to you, and all the collective masks, either worn, known or unknown to you throughout all the years. I'm going to ask your guides here from the light to assist you with having all these files and all these feelings taken out peacefully, coming back in from the inner child, back from the family, whether it's mom or dad, or any other siblings, from the culture, and from the religion, and the collective environment of it. And energetically, all these files and all these feelings energetically from one's past, present, and future self, and placing all these files and all these feelings into the field with peace, compassion, universal love, and grace. Taking in a deep breath, please. Holding it, and with the purifying exhale, breathing it all out. On the top of your crown, on the top of your head, it's going to be a small lotus bud. For yourself here, and for your inner child, and for all of your guides that are here on your island. You're going to be embodying a pillar of white light from the universe, and allowing this divine light as it touches the top of your crown, opening and blossoming this lotus flower, and allowing this divine light as it touches the top of your crown, channeling down through your spine, down to the tips of your fingers, and all the way down to the bottom of your feet. Take a few moments here with being completely showered here with the white light. There is an abundance of this light. It's not your own light. It's the light from the universe. Keep filling yourself in here with the white light. And if there's anything you're feeling on the inside, if it feels uncomfortable, if there's something on the inside you're aware of and you'd like to release it in a positive way, you can channel this white light and set the intention with clearing it out. And whenever you're ready and on your own accord, taking in another deep breath, please. Holding it. And with a purifying exhale, breathing it all out. Keep filling yourself in here with the white light, and then radiating this white light outside of your etherical being, and sending this white light out several kilometers or several miles away from your home, or outside of your essence, outside of your inner home. Keep radiating and filling yourself in here with the white light. And thanking the universe here for the white light. I'd like you to give your inner child here both a hug and a kiss, and thank you, inner child, for assisting you here throughout this meditation. Thanking your guides here from the light for assisting you throughout the meditation. Saying goodbye to everyone. And when you're ready, walking back to the door, guarding your island. Taking out your key and unlocking this door. Stepping out from your island, closing the door behind you, locking it, and keeping the key with you. Walking back down the set of stairs, back out into your garden, and throughout your garden, picking up a flower or two. And whenever you're ready, gently moving your hands and feet, opening your eyes, taking in 1 or 2 deep breaths, and welcome back. I would recommend here, have a glass of water or drink lots of water for the next few days. If you're feeling tired, have a nap, or if you're able to, go to bed at an earlier time. And as always, be kind with yourself, treat each other well. Until next time, thank you for your time, thank you for being here. Have an amazing day. Take care.